And Steph, what do you think of Chris Paul's little shimmy?
It was well deserved. It's a tough shot. If you can shimmy on somebody else, you got to be all right getting shimmied on. So I'll keep shimmying, and maybe he will too. So we'll see what happens.
Breaking news. He's not going to be shimmied.
Oh, my God.
Chris Paul is already, according to Shams, as you're going to see right here, the Adrian Wojnarowski protege via Yahoo. Rocket star Chris Paul will miss Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals with a hamstring strain. This absolutely blows. Let's just keep it raw and uncut. This sucks. We had the Iguodala injury, and I was still like, okay, the series is gonna be interesting because they're gonna be inept defensively. And again, Finals MVP. But now you have Chris Paul, who was the Swiss Army knife, not only defensively by guarding a guy who's 7 feet tall and he's 6 feet on a good day, but then, as you're seeing right here, 18 of his 20 were scored in the second half. He turned it on when he absolutely needed to. Hit big bucket after big bucket. The one that he shimmied on was an impossible three, but then you knew it's like, okay, this is his game. He's going to sleep well tonight. But then, of course, he suffers an injury. And CBS is already reporting Chris Paul has been ruled out for Game 6. The Rockets' record this season, including the playoffs when he plays, 61-12. When he doesn't, 15-9. Again, via CBS Sports. And lastly, ESPN Stats and Info. In last night's Game 5, Chris Paul went 5 of 6 on potential go-ahead field goals in the second half. That's astounding. That's the most go-ahead field goals in the second half of a game by any player in the last 20 possessions. This is huge.
These weren't simple go-ahead field goals. This wasn't throw a fake, break an ankle, get to the rim.
Right.
This was seeming desperation, double clutch threes around people, not over people. This was the to the side, you bring your whole body over.
Right.
Your high school coach is like, no, on balance. And he's just
It was like the not on purpose Kevin Martin form of a shot attempt.
This is you're watching it alone. I watched it alone and I was yelling like, "Oh my, this guy!" That kind of stuff.
I was still doing the coach's thing, going, "No."
It was his game.
Get back on defense. Like every time, I was like, I get it. And again, we keep talking about this, so you will be included next time. I sent this message to Rick. I was like, man, this is the hard thing about the NBA coaches. They kept going to him. And I was like, okay, there's 4 other guys on the floor. They're professional basketball players. And we went over this before. You know what they are when you're in the NBA, when you're a player?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
They're good.
You're good.
They're really good.
You're really good. So they can make shots too and they can control the ball. So I was like, man, just don't lean on this guy so hard. Cool, go to him when he's open, but we still have professionals on the floor.
Yep.
So they get caught up too much with the hero ball. And it's cool because when we see it, is what's made amazing performances in history, right?
Yes.
Is that we've seen hero ball. But you know what? I didn't predict this, but it could have led to what happened to his hamstring. He overworking
him?
Man. The man's got to carry a professional team.
All right, let me ask you a question. So I think that it was a fluke injury, okay? It just happened. Right. I don't think it was overworking at all. And more importantly, if you go back to Golden State, knowing that Chris Paul had the hot hand and you didn't go back to him over and over, then all we'd be talking about today, sorry to go back to this, is why didn't Chris Paul have the ball in the final 2 minutes of the game?
I'm not saying not go to him. I'm just saying when you're getting double teamed and you're fading, the only thing I'm saying, when the double team comes and you have to fade up the 3-point line.
I understand. So real quick, you don't go back to Oracle down 3-2 because you didn't go to the hot hand. James Harden was terrible last night. So who's your next best option?
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon, fine.
Who nailed some pretty clutch threes.
From only 2 spots on the court. We texted. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Can we bring Anna Kasparian here to talk about how she didn't even invite me to her wedding? Can we get that in after all this crap? Watch Happy Half Hour.
When is that show?
She does. 1:30 on Fridays.
Great.
I don't know what time it is now. But.
So, damn it, I lost my train of thought.
Here's the difference.
Here's what I was going to say. Okay, Eric Gordon, where are his hot spots? As I texted you last night.
He's right at the wing 3-point, right?
Wing 3-pointers. Yeah. That's the only spot he hits from. Every single possession. Force him left, force him right. Just don't let him hit.
And the next one is deep top key. He has to go deep top key.
Deep top key is okay, but I'll settle for that over the wings. That is clearly his hot spot.
Yeah. So when you say it's not really the choice to give him the ball or not give him the ball when it comes to CP3, even though it's a moot point now.
Totally.
It is run your offense through him. That's the answer.
Cool.
And I don't remember them not doing it. I do remember that after he made those ridiculous shots all in a row, he did miss a fair number because he was going too hard. He was forcing them more than he was forcing those shots.
But it equated to a win.
Yeah,
it equated to a win.
It did.
And Houston will take that any day of the week instead of going back to Oracle down a game.
Yeah, it's always easy to speak in hindsight. I'm just saying. It's always easy to speak once it's happened because they did win. They may have still could have won and not leaned on him that hard. Because then, like you said, he missed some shots. And some of those were of the impossible variety. And I was like, oh, okay, that one, we see why that missed.
This is also pretty important. There's a history that goes on here via ESPN. Paul has been sidelined by a hamstring injury on 4 occasions during his career. According to ESPN, stats and information, his shortest absence due to a hammy injury was 2 games, 2015 West semis against who else? Houston, when he played for the Clippers. A hamstring injury sidelined him for 5 games, 2012, 7 in 2016, and 2017, 3 games in March this season. There is an injury history here, and unfortunately, it has decided to awaken once again in his body at the worst possible time.
On such a little dinky shot.
It was a little
Blame Quinn Cook. Blame him.
I blame Quinn.
It's his fault.
Quinn Cook.
I'm kidding.
He dropped that pass, man.
We have other reasons to blame Quinn Cook.
Yeah, totally. Do they win another game if Chris Paul's out the rest of the series?
The good news, I think, for the Rockets is that James Harden had a deplorable shooting game. So with losing Chris Paul, at least maybe, hopefully, for them, James Harden is due to score now. And he has a good game to fill in for what Chris Paul's gone.
They have a reasonable record of success with James Harden being the 1 star. You know?
Yeah.
And
they don't have record-breaking success.
They do, right, but I think they have a reasonable amount of success. I don't think they win the next game.
I think
when they go back to Houston,
so
they got a shot.
Yeah.
And I think CP3 plays even if he's not healthy.
All righty. We will continue on, including how Charles Barkley continues to throw shade at LeBron James.